Hello and welcome back to the Reactivist Podcast. I'm Marlena Scheider. So there's a day for everything now, right? If you look on a calendar, there's National Hot Dog Day, Donut Day, this day, that day. Today is National Grammar Day. That is something I can sink my teeth into. Anyone who understands grammar considers themselves the grammar police. There's a whole squad of people out there that are the grammar police. I've been accused of being the grammar police. I don't care about the title. I'm not married to the title. I do get a little irritable. I can't even say I get irritable. I'm befuddled, really, by the way people misuse words or just don't even know how to spell or use the proper word for thing. There are so many things about, okay, maybe I am part of the grammar squad, but I'm not going to go on and on about every word because no one wants to hear it, including me. I don't even want to hear myself talking about words as I continually spout out words. There's one particular word that I noticed people use incorrectly all the time. I haven't met one person who has said the word that I'm about to say properly ever, except for one person, my friend Emily. She has used this word properly. Everyone else that I have encountered in my life does not use the word I'm about to say properly. Okay? When you hear someone say jive, please stop them and say, are you about to talk about and or bust out into a dance routine? Because the word jive, spelled J-I-V-E, is not the word you want. I can guarantee. I haven't seen anybody do a jive dance in my entire life. The hand jive, sure, on the classic movie Grease. Sure. That's it. Okay? No one is jiving. No one I know is jiving. If you jive in some capacity, please let me know. Please write it in the comments, email me, call me. No, don't call me. But fine, good for you. Happy jiving. That's not the word you want. When you want to say, this thing doesn't agree with that thing, whatever it is. When you think you want to use the word jive, stop yourself and know that the word is jibe. J-I-B, as in boy, E, jibe. It's not jive. Jibe means in accordance with. That's the word you want. Jibe. It's so easy. It's one switch of a letter. Stop saying jive. Now, considering that most people don't really know this, apparently, they might not notice when you say jive because they too say jive. Even if just one of you listening starts using the word jibe, I'll be happy. That doesn't jibe with me. Using the word jive in place of jibe doesn't jibe with me. So, you're welcome. There's only one other thing I want to note because this is mind-blowing to me. It is the most simple thing that anybody can do. And it's the difference between two and two. Not the number two, but T-O-O versus T-O. Two, T-O-O means also. Commit it to memory. Commit it to memory. When you want to say, I also don't want to do that, you want T-O-O. And if you can't remember that, if for some reason your brain just cannot metabolize the fact that two, T-O-O, and also are the same in meaning, they're synonyms, then think about #MeToo. Me also. Okay? Stop using T-O when you want to use the word also. And that's my 2 cents. T-W-O. Got it? Good. I want to touch on one pretty random topic, but something that has come up my entire life. And I'm sure anybody who's Catholic has heard what I'm about to say. Even people who are listening that aren't Catholic have probably heard that when you lose something, you should pray to St. Anthony. It's just something I've never even thought to look into until recently. And while I was doing my research, I found out that St. Anthony is not just the patron saint of lost items. He is also the patron saint of amputees, animals, Brazil, elderly people, horses, oppressed people, poor people, pregnant women, shipwrecks, and, quote, many, many more. Many, many more. I think that's enough for one saint, don't you think? So you pray to St. Anthony to find something. What does he do for amputees? What does he do for Brazil? What does he do for horses? I would like to know. Do you pray to St. Anthony to not become an amputee? Or do you pray to St. Anthony after you become an amputee? And what does he do if you are already one? Okay. What does he do for horses? And who's praying? Are the horses praying to St. Anthony? Or is it the horse owners? Owners of stables? Jockeys? Is St. Anthony blessing the horses? Does all of Brazil pray to St. Anthony about Brazil? Elderly people, pregnant women. Got to throw those ladies in there all the time, don't we? Especially these days. Now we really got to pray for all the pregnant women out there, the way this country's going. So how many of you have prayed to St. Anthony when you lose something, and how many times did it result in you finding that something? I'd like to know that. That is something I'd really like to know. Who does St. Anthony pray to when he loses something? On the topic of saints and other things you can't see, there was a story out of Illinois that talked about guidelines, state guidelines for burying your loved one in your yard. You know, don't bury a dead body so many feet from public space. Don't bury a dead body near a sewer line, I'm guessing. Just sort of like any other variance you would get. I'm sure there's a setback. How many feet off of your property, off of your house, or off of your property line. Don't bury a dead body in broad daylight. You have to dig so many feet. I don't know. I don't really know why you would want a dead body on your property. And how can you prove that the body that you're burying is, in fact, a loved one and not just a dead body? How does that relate to saints? Well, it relates to ghosts, okay? And whether or not you believe in ghosts, I would love to pose that question as well. Do you believe in ghosts? And to what extent? Because there are some people who say, well, I've never seen a ghost, but I believe that there's something out there. Okay. For argument's sake, let's just say ghosts are real, which leads me to, if someone could tell you for certain that if you buried a quote unquote loved one on your property and it guaranteed that they would come and visit you from time to time, would that make or break your decision? Would you bury your loved one on your property because you know you would see them again in ghost form, whatever that would look like? Or would you not bury your loved one on your property if you knew for sure that they would come and see you? Either way, regardless of ghosts, I don't know so much that I would want a dead body, loved one or not. Not only would it feel creepy to me, what happens when you move? You sell the house one day. What is that going to do for the resale value? You have to disclose the fact that there is a dead body buried on your property. Do you have to then relocate the dead body? I just feel like the idea of burying a loved one or a human being that died on your property raises so many other questions. It has to affect the resale value of your home. It has to. Could you imagine taking a tour of a new house that you really love? It's perfect. And you're all geeked out and you're going to make an offer, and you're already picturing yourself in the house. You're all psyched. You can't wait. You already can see yourself decorating the house. And then you get the paperwork that says that there's a corpse in your yard right next to the hydrangeas. Although the silver lining is that could be a negotiating factor right there. That's it. $200K off the house right now. Also in the news today, the Supreme Court ruled 9-0 in favor of Donald Trump, and he will be on the Colorado ballot, much to the chagrin of the state of Colorado. And as much as I would love to sit here and talk about Trump, I don't even know why I just said that. There's no reason. I don't want to sit here and talk about Trump. Donald Trump has been talked about so much that I am in awe that anybody has anything left to say about Donald Trump. Do you really care what I think about Donald Trump? I can tell you I don't care what you think about Donald Trump, because what does it matter? What does it matter in the end? You're going to vote for who you vote for. I'm going to vote for who I vote for. Everybody thinks that someone is going to be persuaded to think the way they do. I just find it fascinating. I find it fascinating that people cannot accept the fact that people are allowed to have a difference of opinion. It doesn't really matter what somebody thinks of Donald Trump. It shouldn't keep you up at night. It shouldn't anger you. It shouldn't keep you from talking to anyone if you disagree with them in either direction, whether you are pro-Trump or anti-Trump. It doesn't matter. When will people learn this? It doesn't matter what you think of Donald Trump and how many times you beat it into somebody's head. All you're going to do is go in a circle. Because so much of this is about opinions, and everybody's allowed to have an opinion. Everyone's allowed to have an opinion. You can't base your relationships on whether or not someone agrees with you, whether it's Joe Biden, Donald Trump, Gloria Estefan. These are topics that don't move the needle at all. And what you really need to be focused on is your own behavior. Why are we talking about other people? Talking about Donald Trump, you might as well be talking about a celebrity of any caliber. Talking about Donald Trump and talking about Joe Biden isn't going to make a difference in the world at all. It's like talking about the Real Housewives. I could sit here and talk for an hour about all kinds of reality TV, and what does it change about the world exactly? It doesn't change anything when it comes to the President of the United States. Whether or not you agree with that, it's up to you. I can tell you for sure that getting in an argument at dinner over Joe Biden versus Donald Trump, what's it going to do? Except ruin the dinner. There is a story this week involving two horses that escaped a stable and started galloping down a highway in Cleveland. Police were called in to wrangle those said horses. So it begs the question, where was St. Anthony?